When American filmmaker Michael Rosato Bennett heard about social worker Dan Cohn, he thought he'd tag along with him for a day and capture his efforts on film. Dan was volunteering at a retirement home, providing music to people there and achieving astounding results. Neither man could have imagined that one-day expedition would turn into a 3-year journey. That sojourn would result in the award-winning film Alive Inside. It would also spark a movement to make music part of the standard protocol at nursing homes everywhere.
And what happens to you when you hear it?
I feel good. It's like I got a girl. I want to stay with her.
And that is why, together, we're going to do this one small kindness. We're going to bring life into the places where it's been forgotten. And together,
Whoa. Oh.
we will listen.
Scientific evidence proves music awakens parts of the brain that have laid dormant for years. Movement and memories can be stimulated, even in catatonic patients. Michael joins us to share his experiences with the elderly residents he documented in the film. People moved in dramatic fashion by having music brought back into their lives. He's here to tell us why music can have a crucial impact on aging. Michael, thanks so much for joining us here on Full Frame.
Thank you for having me.
What an experience. I mean, you tag along with Dan.
Right.
You think, well, I'll just, film this. Was it almost instantaneous? For those who haven't seen the film, it's almost like there's a key and it unlocks the mind. It's amazing to watch.
Yeah. And my life changed in the first hour of filming. Like, I experienced something almost instantaneously that I literally knew that I had to make this film. I walked into a nursing home, a big public, underfunded nursing home, and I walked into a hallway and there were 100 people sitting in wheelchairs, lining the wall, and this one guy, Henry, this old black man, was in there. He was kind of like this, and he'd been like that for 10 years. For 10 years, he'd sort of just been a bump on a log, if you will. And then they brought Henry and set him up in front of my cameras, kind of like I am here, and we put music on his head, and it was Cab Calloway, like the music that he'd loved when he was a boy. And I watched this man, and you can watch it in the film. I captured it. He literally, like his self, returns. He becomes.
Let me stop you right there because you're doing my job. You're setting up a clip. So let's watch the clip and let's pick it up on the other side. Let's watch this because it is amazing.
I supposed to sing with this?
You can if you like. When I first met him, he was very isolated, and he used to always sit on the unit with his head like this. He didn't really talk to much people, and then when I introduced the music to him, this is his reaction ever since.
Henry waking up did something to all of us. Everyone in the room felt it.
But one thing we can't see is the guy behind the camera. I mean, what was your, was it a smile or were there tears? I mean, because this is really emotion charged.
Just watching that, and I've seen it 1,000 times, I am overcome with emotion. There's something about like another person, coming awake, that has been, you know, like if you see your child and they're somehow they think badly, they think they're a failure, you know, and then you kind of give them a pep talk and they realize that they're good, and they fill their self, you know, and I literally had chills going up and down my arms, like when he was coming alive, because it just what that means, you know, the idea that, you know, there are 1.6 million people like Henry in nursing homes. There's 5 million people with Alzheimer's disease in this country, you know, and the idea that we could do something that would, you know, stir their deeper selves into some kind of aliveness, it just totally, like, that is what I have to do, you know. It was like it was like the universe said, you know, we can help somebody, you know, if you make this film, we can help a lot of people. And so I knew I had to do it, and it's been an amazing experience.
But obstacles, you and I had a chance to talk about this. You're making a film about people don't want, they all think, oh my God, I'm going to end up in one of those places when I'm older. I don't want to see a film like this.
Right.
But it's so affirming, and yet it asks some really tough questions about how we deal with the elderly. I mean, we're not, it's warehousing, and you even have a woman say at one point that the reason why these people are like this is because they keep going more and more inward because of the life that they're living.
Right, like when you take a human being and you treat them as an object, as a thing, they react, you know, they suffer. You know, you treat a human as a slave, they suffer. You treat somebody as an object, they suffer. And then when you allow somebody, or you honor what they are, who they are, their deepest self, it's the way we should live. You know, we should all be honored for this miracle that we are. You're a miracle. I'm a miracle. Your viewers are miracles. You know, and we are each a point of perception of life that can never be duplicated. You know, we're all, you know, part of this incredible thing called life, and we don't have enough imagination about what life can be, and you know, that's what I got out of this. That it wasn't just the music; it was the music. The music does go into the mind. It goes into the deep places that haven't been destroyed by dementia or Alzheimer's. It does. It goes in there, and it wakes up emotion. And emotion can create these massive, you know, synaptic firings that create pathways. And we took the headphones off Henry, and I'm like, okay, he's going to sink back down, and he didn't. You know, he started like talking to me, and he was a poet. I mean, and he started singing, and he had a voice like one of the most beautiful voices I've ever heard. And I was like, what? You know, inside this shell of a man is a poet, and is a singer, and a soul of incomparable beauty that the world had completely forgotten about. And there is so much beauty in these people, in this music. You know, that's why I'm trying to create this movement for young people, that, you know, young people should go into these places and experience these human beings and experience them for what they are, because they are beautiful things.
Well, again, you're doing my job for me. Let's watch another clip and let's talk about it. Hold on, here goes.
Do you remember Neil Diamond? Her name is Gloria. She's about 86 years old. Me and Sophia, my partner, and we came here about 3 weeks ago. The first and probably the second visit, the only word she ever said to us was butterfly. When we walked her out in the garden, she saw a butterfly, and that's all she told us, about one word. Then about 2 lessons later, last lesson, we gave her the music, and that just totally, she started talking to us, and she started just saying stuff we never knew, how she has a ranch in Alexander Valley where she grew up. Do you want to keep listening to this song? She loved to garden. And it was just, we learned so much about her through the music. And it's just, it's the music has helped her so much.
he says it helped her so much, but there's a payoff for this young kid. Talk to us about this. It's exactly what you were talking about. You know, there's this kind of frightening element. Let's warehouse these people. Let's keep them away. But here you bring teens in, and you can tell just by his face, he's getting a lot out of this. Gloria's getting a lot out of this. Talk to us about that.
Yeah, I'm so glad you got that. I really am, because, you know, I think children are under-challenged in our world. You know, we just kind of give them their phones and their television and their games, and we say, we'll see you when you're 18, you know, and then you can join the human race, you know. We very seldom say to children, hey, there's something you can do, you know. And when there's been a connection between the very old and the very young since the beginning of human times, you know. And when you take the power of youth and age and you take the power of music, music is just this magic. It's one of the first human technologies. You know, it's pre-language. It's the way we create cohesion and family, and it's the way we run for days hunting an elk, you know, as a tribe, and our footfalls, you know, boom, 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 boom. That's the beginning of music, and then our voices, and you know, like, we've been making music probably longer than we've been doing anything else, and now we treat it like it's just some thing, you know, that you download or that some star does. You know, but it's not. It is our heartbeat. It's our heartbeat. It's our connection put into form, and you know, it's such a beautiful thing, and it contains such wisdom. And you know, that's, you know, you'll meet Scott a little bit later. He you know, he's one of the guys that just came forward and said, look, I'm doing something amazing that can help with this. Let's do it together. And you know, so I'm just really happy that a lot of people are getting involved.
Since I put you in charge of this broadcast, let's bring Scott back in.
You're
the maestro. And see, you did so much of this that, so Scott Lean's joining us, and he's already set you up in a sense. The two of you are connected, but talk to me about your creation. Explain what it is and why you see it as there's a value proposition between the two of you.
Yeah. My life's mission has been on how to have technology help improve people's lives. And I saw the Henry video a few years ago and was inspired. And as we started to build GrandPads, music was central to that always, because I knew how powerful music is for seniors. They love music more than our generation. They used to go to the ballroom on Saturday night and go dancing. They'd see live music. But unfortunately, the barriers of technology had made it difficult for many people in their 70s, 80s, 90s to appreciate music. And so we got together, and now we're going to be able to bring the power of music to millions of seniors.
So talk to me about GrandPad, and I know you can demonstrate for us. So walk us through what it is and why you see it as so important.
Yeah, so what I saw was the complexities of technology were making it hard for seniors. And we all and the younger generation uses all their technology, their phones every day. It's central and it's integrated in their life. But the group that needs it most would struggle with it. Many would, because the technology was not designed for them. So we set out to build something that was designed from the ground up for people in their 80s, 90s, 100s. Even Anna, age 114, has used a GrandPad, 10th oldest human on the earth. And so when you set out and build something just for them and design it for all their unique and wonderful attributes, they can enjoy it.
So Anna, if she's going to be messing with this, show us what she would do.
Yeah, so a couple key things. First off, if I'm 90 and have some eyesight and tremor issues, just plugging in a standard tablet is difficult. You know, that was designed for a 30-year-old. So we designed GrandPad that it has built-in wireless inductive charging. I just set it there and it charges. I don't have to plug anything in. This is just for the TV studio. We have a wonderful stylus. When I'm over the age of 90, standard touch screens don't work because my skin is dry. So we have a stylus that they can use and easily enjoy and see all the wonderful pictures of the kids and grandkids. And everything about the interface is built so that it's simple and safe. And as they can scroll through and see, you know, pictures and videos of the kids, grandkids, great-grandkids. No passwords, don't have to mess with Wi-Fi, all that's there. so that they can enjoy the magic of their family and the memories. You know, seeing their wedding photo from 1940, again, brings those memories back. These are the folks that need it the most. They have a lot of time, and they're at the stage in their life where they want to reflect and really enjoy. Their family is their legacy.
Right.
And it's very soothing for them to be able to see and enjoy all those wonderful pictures of the kids and grandkids.
Well, you know, it's interesting you used the word miracle, magic, but one of the words that we haven't used is misery. And my brother passed away. He had stage 4 cancer, and so it wasn't dementia, but he ended up in hospice, and they provided all these things. Dogs would come in and massage. It was all fantastic, but one thing they did not provide was music. And my brother-in-law created this music, these CDs, and he was telling me, I was on the phone with him, he's like, oh man, I'm rocking the place. And I said, well, what about the seniors that, well, most of them are deaf or comatose, they don't care. And he goes, the nurses are coming in, they're enjoying it. But it, again, sparked all these memories. It lessened the misery. So it's beyond even people with dementia, although our director was saying he went into a senior complex. His mom was there, put on Frank Sinatra. Everybody came alive. So my question is, medicine, they have no problems feeding him medicine day and night. Why, you know, this seems like such a no-brainer. Why no music?
Well, I mean, it can't be monetized, okay? If the effect that music has on people with dementia was a drug, if it could be put in the form of a pill and be a drug, it would be a multi-billion-dollar drug, okay? But music is in the air. You know, you can't buy it or sell it. But I will tell you, and I can make a prediction now, and I guarantee that within 2 years, this music will be in every nursing home. It will be funded by the government. It is, you know, I'm making a little short film on a doctor, Dr. Ravi Amin, okay, from HHC in New York. He did a study where he went into he's the chief psychiatrist at HHC, and he went in and he gave his sufferers of dementia, he gave them the music of their youth, okay, instead of antipsychotic drugs. When he started the experiment, 50% of his patients were on antipsychotic drugs. These are the drugs you give people when they're acting out and you want to knock them down, you want to sedate them, you know? And he went from 50% down to 13% with a cost savings on each patient of $400. So he saved us tons of money, stopped using these terrible drugs on these people, and gave them a better life. And I mean, it's not a cure, but it's moments of joy. And that's what this grandpad thing is so cool about. Is he's got like all this incredible tracking like stuff in the background. He can tell what all these people are doing, and you can see how often they're excited and doing stuff with it, and it's really cool, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And by making it simple, they can use it when they need it the most. So loneliness doesn't hit you in the middle of the day during, you know, a social activity. It hits, you know, my mom, when we lost my father a year ago, it hits her in the middle of the night when she's lonely and depressed. She can now use something like this that's now accessible to her to look at pictures of the family, to enjoy the music that soothes her and brings her comfort. And so what we've done is just made technology simple so that they can enjoy it, design it just for them, and they get the benefits that we all get.
But the payoff, you see the smiles on their faces, you see that it's magic. I mean, do you two feel like, you know, this will be the final question, do you feel like you're revolutionaries? Because you really are changing the face of care for these people who've been shut away. And I'll start with you, Scott.
Absolutely. There's over 20 million people in this country over the age of 75, and that's going to grow to 34 million, fastest growing segment. And many of them are very, very frustrated with technology today. And we work, as Michael said, with high-functioning folks that are frustrated with technology and those that have other challenges. By doing this, we can dramatically improve their life. But the real extra payoff is by reconnecting them with their family, everyone wins. The kids, the grandkids, the great-grandkids. Because as Michael pointed out, that connection between the young and the old has always been there. Unfortunately, modern times of people living apart, so distance is disconnected and technology is disconnected. We can bring them back together, and it will have a big difference on this country.
And Michael, it starts as a film, but now it's a cause. I mean, it's a passion of yours, isn't it?
The one thing I learned from this whole process is I thought these elders with dementia were gone. that they were dead. I really did. I'm sorry. I thought, and I think most of us do. And what I learned, beyond a shadow of a doubt, is that there are two minds. One is the cognitive thinking mind, and the other is the emotional sense of self and the emotional being. And in these people, that part of them is 100% functional. And that's why, you know, Scott and I, we really have a lot of pleasure in what we're doing. Like, you know, people go to their work and they're like, oh, I'm just clocking in. No, this is fun because we're helping people be good and access that aliveness that we're supposed to have. We're not machines. We're not robots. We're not unnecessary. We are beautiful creatures, human beings, and we really need to get back to celebrating that together. And
well,
my thought.
It's amazing that you can put something here and you just see the eyes, you know, and you know that they've triggered not just the mind but the heart as well. It's fantastic film. It's great what both of you are doing. Michael, Scott, thanks so much for coming in. Really appreciate it.